Okay, आज चाहिँ माउन्ट वाशिङटनको फेदी को एयरबिएनबी को बाहिरपट्टिको चाहिँ हो। हिजो मैले भित्र गर्दा मैले हल्का खिचेको छु। यो हो अब हामी त्यहाँ ब्रेकफास्टमा जान लागेको छु। अब त अटम लागेकोले चिसो भएकोले यहाँ स्विमिङ पुल चाहिँ यहाँ छोपेर राखेको रहेछ। यो स्विमिङ पुल रहेछ यहाँ नत्र। अनि त्यहाँ चाहिँ ऊ रहेछ के भन्छ साउना। ओके स्विमिङ पुल साउना 4-5 जनाले उठ्ने है रहेछ। गजबको रहेछ। फ्यान्टास्टिक भेरी नाइस। कफी खाउँ हल्का के छ अब चम्पा खाउँ म त। राम्रो ठाउँ रहेछ ल। ओके ठिकै त म यो कलरफुल के एकदम कलरफुल। ओके अब यहाँ ब्रेकफास्ट खाने ठाउँ चाहिँ यो हो। या गुड मर्निङ गुड मर्निङ गुड मर्निङ गुड मर्निङ गुड मर्निङ। ओके हजुर ए हस् 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 अब लाउँछु। ओके यहाँ चाहिँ अब यहाँ दाउरा बाहिरबाट ल्याएर यहाँ दाउरा फुके पनि हुने रहेछ। यो ठाउँ चाहिँ यस्तो रहेछ। उफ यहाँ कस्तो राम्रो रहेछ ल। ब्युटिफुल माथि पनि रुम रहेछ। ओके उता पनि रुम माथि पनि रुम रहेछ। यहाँ मुनि चाहिँ ब्रेकफास्टको लागि रहेछ। यहाँ ब्रेकफास्टको लागि रहेछ ब्रेकफास्टको। ओके म चाहिँ हल्का आज चाहिँ म कफी खाइदिनु पऱ्यो। म चाहिँ आज कफी खाइदिन्छु। ओके एउटा ल
कफी कुन लिनुहुन्छ यहाँ? हेजलनट हो कि यो
क्याफेन फ्री छ त्यहाँ?
क्याफेन फ्री होला।
क्याफेन फ्री छ भने क्याफेन फ्री चाहिँ हुन्छ मलाई। म चाहिँ कफी भनेर लेखेको छ यहाँ। अब यहाँ चिया खाए पनि कफी खाए पनि ऊ एप्पल खाए पनि यहाँ ऊ यहाँ यस्तोहरू खाए पनि यहाँ जे खाए पनि यहाँ बिस्कुट खाए पनि।
अच्छा म ओटमेल तातो बनाइदिन्छु।
हुन्छ
ओटमेल यहाँ जति बनाए नि छ यहाँ।
ऊ यहाँ पनि रहेछ नि यहाँ के रहेछ
यो हैन त्यो त कफी होइन हजुर यो त सबै चिया हो।
चिया रहेछ यो त यहाँ चिया। म चाहिँ त कफी खान्छु। त्यो क्याफेन फ्री छ भने के एकचोटि प्लिज। ओके ल हजुर ओके क्याफेन फ्री रहेछ है त्यो? ओके हुन्छ हो बस ओके ल।
कफी हाल्ने ठाउँ कस्तो निङ्ग्यो हैन?
ठिकै नि कस्तो राम्रो है। हो व्यवस्थित के यिनीहरूको त जे पनि व्यवस्थित नि हेर न ल हेर न यो सबै कफी
रेगुलर कफी।
वाउ
अनि यतापट्टि चाहिँ पुरा उनीहरूले यो हाल्छ।
ठिकै नि ठिकै नि चिया हेर न अब के मिला के मिला के चिया हो के चिया हो चिया विभिन्न प्रकारको चिया। वन्डरफुल गजब रहेछ हो यहाँ खतरा रहेछ यो त। जे बनाएर खायो भने आफ्नो खुसी।
ओटमेल बनाइदिन्छ है आज? ओटमेल खानुहुन्छ कि?
म त सबै खान्छु क्या। म त मेरो लागि त
यहाँ कति थरी रहेछ
कलर यहाँ खोला खोलाको किनारै किनार व्हाइट माउन्टेन नेसनल फरेस्ट भन्दो रहेछ यहाँ। Look at this. पुरा वक ट्रेल हो रहेछ। अब हाम्रो ब्रेकफास्ट पनि सकियो यहाँ। मैले त छम्तुर पनि खाएँ। कफी आज मिठो भयो। उहाँहरू लिँदै हुनुहुन्छ। अब उहाँहरू र मैले सकेँ यहाँ। ओके म चाहिँ अब मेरो पार्ट अलिकति बाँकी। त्यो कलर चाहिँ खुब मिठो कलर अटम कलर हेर्नुहोस् त अब कति मिठो कलर ल। Look at this. ल अब हामी लोड गर्दैछ। अब यहाँबाट वासिङटन माउन्टेनको फेदसम्मलाई आधा घन्टा बन्द रहेछ। ओके सो ट्रेनमा जाने कि गाडी लाने त्यहाँ पुगेपछि डिसाइड हुन्छ। ओके सो ब्युटिफुल कस्तो राम्रो ल। What a beautiful color. यस्तो राम्रो बाबा। Look at this. यार Okay, we're on the way to the Mount Washington. We are almost half an hour on the base of the Mount Washington. So beautiful.
Where do you want to go?
जहाँ पुग्छ त्यहाँ जानु
राम्रो है चित्र पनि हेर्नुहोस् न ल कलर अलिक टाढा भएर मात्रै हो यस्तो ब्युटिफुल ल खतरा हो यो भ्यू त So nice. Wow. ल हेर ल हजुर त्यही त नि कस्तो हेर न ल ल ल यतिखेरको चाहिँ मोस्ट ब्युटिफुल हो
अक्टोबर 10 तिर त गजब हुन्छ
कस्तो राम्रो नि अब Walking around. Mama, what a little small lake. Hikers are wrestling here. Beautiful lake, small lake. Look at this.
Oh my god,
My goodness, look. It's just so beautiful. अब यहाँ मेन्टोकले खेम्बोलाले भन्नुभएको रहेछ राम्रो मेन्टोक देख्यो भनेदेखि एकदम ब्युटिफुल हरू देख्यो भनेदेखि चाहिँ मेन्टल फुल्सी गऱ्यो भनेदेखि पाउँछ भनेर भनेको रहेछ अनि यहाँ उनीहरू यहाँ निस्केर यहाँ मेन्टल फुल्सी गऱ्यो अहिले यहाँ कस्तो राम्रो ल ब्युटिफुल ल ओमिनो होटल ओमिनो होटल अरे यो चाहिँ बाफ्रे हो रहेछ यार खतरा छ अब हामी पुग्न लागिसकेको रहेछ अब क्लोज टु द माउन्ट base of Mount Washington. Okay. Okay, अब हामी base of the Washington Mountain मा पुगे
Thank you. You're the best.
땡지. 땡나보. 땡지 추리래 바네라. 가가 재미나 여자 오다 너마라 가가 재미나 폰
그 스테이션 भनेर 또 अब माउन्ट वाशिङटनमा जानुको लागि त्यो ट्रेन स्टेसन यो रहेछ अब यहाँ भित्र जाँदैछु अहिले हामी ओके यहाँ रहेछ यहाँ वा यस्तो छ ल टिकट ट्रेनको टिकट लिने चाहिँ तल रहेछ ट्रेनको टिकट लिने तल रहेछ ओके यस्तो रहेछ ल ओके एक टुर दिन्छु म यहाँ यस्तो रहेछ यहाँ ओके ट्रेन यसरी जाँदैछ ल माउन्ट वाशिङटन रेलवे कम्पनी भनेर छ यहाँ एउटा माथि रुख डाँडा माथि यस्तो रहेछ ल सब्मिट चाहिँ 6288 6288 फिट रहेछ ओके यहाँ भिडियोहरू पनि हेर्ने ठाउँ रहेछ यहाँ त्यस्तो राम्रो त्यो रहेछ डाँडा चाहिँ ट्रेन जितेको ट्रेन हिजोको हेर Cork Railways. किन्ने ठाउँमै यहाँ तल रहेछ वा 11 बजेको
10:45.
ओके सुविनर किन्ने ठाउँ यहाँ रहेछ फेरि टिकट काट्ने ठाउँ चाहिँ उता रहेछ उहाँहरूले टिकट काटेर आउनुभयो ओके 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 ट्रेन चढ्ने ठाउँ चाहिँ यहाँ छ कि क्या हो यहाँ रहेछ त्यहाँ त्यहाँबाट जाँदैछ है अरू त्यहाँ चढ्ने रहेछ होइन होइन वाउ आज अन द वेमा पनि भ्यू राम्रो देखिने रहेछ ल को लागि पनि यहाँ किन्ने ठाउँहरू टन्न रहेछ यहाँ वाउ ओके अब ट्रेन चाहिँ यही रहेछ टिकट पनि काटिसक्यो है
हाम्रो चाहिँ प्लेटफर्म सी यही हो
यही हो यही ओके ल प्लेटफर्म सी भनेपछि यही रहेछ यो ट्रेन यसमा जाँदैछ हामी चाहिँ ओके ल
So where are you going from here?
Okay.
I live in Morgan.
So
You live in what? In Morgan.
अब हाम्रो चाहिँ 10:45 मा रहेछ अब भनेपछि अब कति भयो
Maybe about almost 10 years.
ओके अब झन्डै अब
30 years. Yes.
झन्डै हुन लाग्यो
So they're coming.
त्यो अघि गएको ट्रेन फर्किँदै रहेछ यो अब हाम्रो ट्रेन चाहिँ यो सी रहेछ हामी सीमा जाँदैछु हामी सीमा रहेछ औ हामीले भनेको अब त्यो फर्केर आएपछि हामी सीमा जाने अब यहाँ हामी यसमा जाने रहेछ हो ओके त्यहाँ आउँदै रहेछ त्यो ट्रेन आउँदै रहेछ त्यो दुईवटा पो आउँदै रहेछ वै ऊ निलो पनि एउटा आउँदै रहेछ माथिबाट दुईवटा आउँदै रहेछ यो ओके मेरो बिचमा यो ए र बी होला हामी चाहिँ सी होला लुक्स लाइक या ओके ब्युटिफुल दुईवटा आउँदो रहेछ दुईवटा माथि बी रहेछ प्लेटफर्म बी यो चाहिँ बी रहेछ सी हामी चाहिँ सीमा जान्छ यो चाहिँ ए रहेछ ल यो चाहिँ प्लेटफर्म ए रहेछ ओके यो चाहिँ ए रहेछ ओके मेरो जम्मा अब ए र बी गएपछि पो हामी सी जाने होला जस्तो लाग्यो है यस्तो हेर्दाखेरि यो प्लेटफर्म एबिसी अब 10:45 मा तिनैवटासँगै जाने रहेछ सो मजाहरू सब यहाँ बाहिर निस्केर यहाँ तयार भइसक्यो यहाँ हाम्रो चाहिँ सी रहेछ सो हामी पनि अब यहाँ सीको अगाडि बाहिर कुरेर बस्छु ओके राइट अब यहाँ चाहिँ
Yeah, no, you cannot go beyond the lines. There's a penalty for that. No, you can't even stand on it.
Try and take a picture.
With the ticket office prior to boarding.
एनाउन्स गर्यो अब हामी चाहिँ ट्रेन चढ्दैछु हाम्रो चाहिँ 14E रहेछ अब त्यहाँ यहाँ टिकट यहाँ show me मलाई show होइन त
Last moment का सही जहिले पनि last.
That's okay
Last moment.
ल अब यहाँ सबैजना सिट नम्बर रहेछ नि त उनीहरूको
प्लेनमा पस्दा पनि त्यही हो last moment.
Assignments will be on your tickets, okay?
What is it?
Seat assignments
Okay
on your ticket.
all right अब हामी चढ्दैछु यहाँ यहाँ 14E रहेछ 14E Donga 14 14 14 14 7 7 7 4 11 14 13 14 ल E तिम्रो चाहिँ कति र DE CDE ल okay
entrepreneur and with aspirations of getting up to the building a train to the summit, and everybody laughed at him. You know, the railroad industry said, we tried this already, this can't be done. But he said, well, I really don't care, I think I'm smart enough to figure this out. And obviously he did, right? You gotta check in and ticketing. Have you checked in? So, you know, we figured this all out, tried all kinds of things, but he settled on borrowing some technology from a bicycle, the sprocket and chain, and that became our core technology. So today you're going to experience a lot of things that we do to get up this mountain that they did 157 years ago. Now you won't find on any railway in the world. So I'll tell you more about that on the way up. And just a couple of safety measures. In the back of the coach, you will see some gauges. If you're sitting back there, those are our brakes. And I have our brakes set up right now so we can roll forward and up the mountain, but not backward and down the mountain. Everybody okay with that? Yeah. Please don't touch any controls at the back of the coach. I have everything all set up for our safety.
A र B गयो अब उनीहरूको पछि हामी यहाँ C जाँदैछौँ अब यहाँ
Okay, well, I know that if they kind of by the window, just
Don't think about the bicycle.
C C move हुँदैछ सुप
मान्छेले यहाँबाट हिँडेर पनि जान्छ त
ए माथि डाँडा कटिसक्यो त्यो B जाँदै रहेछ त्यहाँ अब हामी C यहाँ लास्टमा बसाउँदैछौँ
There's a system that they got on. If you don't do the line, if you put the gear in it,
Well, welcome to the adventure. I want you to get a lot more than a train ride today because you are on a piece of American and New Hampshire history. And by the time I get you up to the summit, I hope you've had a very memorable experience. So to start off this morning, I'm going to show you something that's very, very New Hampshire. Have a look out your windows, and down below, you're looking at the Ammonoosuc River. And I want you to notice how crystal clear the water is. A lot of people will drink this water, it's so clean. And we have a lot of lakes and rivers and streams up here, just like this. They're naturally filtered and spring-fed. And this particular river begins way up on top of the Ammonoosuc Ravine. And up on top of that ravine are the highest lakes east of the Mississippi River. They're called Lakes of the Clouds. That's where this river originates, and it comes flowing down to our base station, then over to Littleton, New Hampshire, and over to Vermont, where it empties into the Connecticut River, and flows all the way down the Connecticut River, emptying into Long Island Sound. Hold on tight. Scotty's going to hit the accelerator. Make sure you're holding on tight. Well, thank you for holding on tight. Scotty just sounded the horn to let us know we've reached our top speed. This is all you're going to get today. Bet you didn't know that. I bet you're expecting a roller coaster, weren't you? Anybody know what our top speed is? It's like 4 or 5 miles an hour. That's it. Well, again, I'm going to start off this morning by telling you some history of our White Mountains. And again, I hope you enjoy our beautiful foliage. This is the most beautiful time of the year up here in the White Mountains. And our foliage is a little muted this year because of the drought situation, but it's still very beautiful, so enjoy. But if we go back 1,000 years ago, the original inhabitants up here were the Abenaki Indians. They were here for centuries. Then the next big milestone was the arrival of this pioneer family named the Crawfords. And they're credited with opening up the wilderness up here and kind of getting the ball rolling with modern day civilization. They cut the first road to connect Vermont and Maine. And that's kind of what got trade and commerce off the ground and people moving up here and calling it home, albeit slow but steady over the next 50 years. Now our big boom came in the 1840s and 1850s with the arrival of the railroads, and they were cutting their way north to connect Canada to many of our major cities in the Northeast. So that's when we got a big boom in trade and commerce, off the charts. Population exploded. Many of our cities and towns incorporated. And industry moved up here. And now that the White Mountains was accessible by rail, although still wilderness, tourism was discovered. Now our original tourists were the wealthiest people in the country. The Vanderbilts, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, they'd come up here by rail, and they would be asked to be let off the train and they'd go hiking. Now keep in mind, there were no hotels, only a couple of roads, no grocery stores for supplies, no hiking trails. They would kind of bushwhack their way through the woods, and the whole family. And they had to go hunting and fishing for their own food. And at the end of the day, after walking maybe 8 miles or so, they would pitch a tent, cook up whatever they caught, and go camping. They did that the next day and the next day. They did that for a week, sometimes 2 weeks. That was the wealthy tourist White Mountain vacation. Now one other little detail, try to envision this. They didn't show up here in hiking gear like our modern day hikers. The men were dressed in wool suits and ties, and the women had on long dresses and bustles and flowery hats, high heel shoes. And all the children, they were dressed for Sunday school. Not the most appropriate hiking clothing. So after about the third or fourth trip up here, the wealthy wives kind of put their foot down and said, we're not doing this anymore. That's not how they lived. Walking 8 miles a day, right, in their high heel shoes, cooking, right? They didn't cook. They had maids and butlers, sleeping in a cold tent on the wet ground. So over the next 25 years or so, they built 33 grand hotels, including the Mount Washington Hotel.
No.
Now, how many of you are familiar with the Mount Washington Hotel? You might have seen it on the way in. Looks like a big white castle with a red metal roof, and it's actually something you might want to visit when you come back from the train ride. But we had 33 of those. They were all built for the wealthy tourists who would come ride by rail, check in for the whole summer, throw their money around, and this was a playground exclusively for the rich and famous. You wouldn't catch any regular, ordinary people up here. That went on for 50 years. In fact, they named it the Gilded Age of the White Mountains. So what happened to all these grand hotels? Well, the Great Depression came along. That kind of put a little crush on it. He outperformed every kid he grew up with, and by the time he was in his late teens, well, he was just off the charts brilliant. So his parents sent him down to the university in Boston to pursue an engineering degree. And once he completed that, it was the gold rush in America. And so rather than come back to agriculture, New Hampshire, Sylvester Marsh hopped on a train and took off to California, like everybody else did during the gold rush, to make some real money. Now on his way, he had a little layover in Chicago. And keep in mind, this kid's a dreamer, an entrepreneur, an out-of-the-box thinker. And he's looking out at the plains in Chicago and all the wild livestock running around, and how the railroads were quickly connecting our country, north, south, east, west. And bam, he has a brainstorm with very strong convictions. And he says, forget about California, there's more opportunity right here. So he settled in Chicago, where the population was just 300 people, little cow town. And the idea that he came up with was to partner up with the railroads and create America's first and largest national meat packing operation, having the railroads distribute his meat products all across America. Now that had never been tried. The industry was structured as a network of local butchers in every city and town. So everybody made fun of him, said, you're crazy, that can't be done. Well, he followed his vision, and within 10 years he became a billionaire. He did kind of a big box strategy on that industry, a Costco strategy. He restructured it, and into what it is today. And even today, he's known as the father of the modern day meat packing industry, with the stockyards, the whole modern day infrastructure. So he stayed out in Chicago almost 30 years, and he grew that original company into the largest meat packing operation in North America, becoming a billionaire. So here it is, the mid-1800s. He's tired, he's wealthy, sells his company. Comes back to New Hampshire. As soon as he got back here, the entrepreneur that couldn't sit still decides, forget about retirement, man, I need another career. So he starts brainstorming again about some things he can do. Everybody's laughing at him because he was kind of a dreamer. Think about how crazy this was when he announced one day that he's going to buy up half of this mountain and invent the world's first mountain climbing railway to the summit of Mount Washington exclusively for tourism. Now the railroad industry laughed at him because they tried to get up these mountains, and it was a sheer failure. And they made fun of him. Why are you throwing your fortune away on an impossible project? And you don't know anything about railroads, just a young kid with no railroad experience. What are you thinking? Well, he wasn't thinking like they were thinking. Again, he was thinking out of the box. And he spent maybe the next 10 years or so experimenting with many non-traditional technologies. And some not even tried in the railroad industry, not even tried in industry. This is kind of before the Industrial Revolution. So people are coming up with all kinds of things. And he's trying to apply them to the railroad industry. And he's failing one after the other, but he doesn't give up. And again, one day he's fixing his bicycle, and the lights go on. And he decides, wow, this is strong technology to be able to get a grown-up around the city by pedaling a bicycle. And was an engineering background. He's thinking, I can engineer this up so it's robust enough to get a train up the steep grades of Mount Washington. I know I can do this. And everybody laughed at him and said, you're crazy, can't be done. Well, in 1866, which is the significance of the date on the benches, Sylvester formed the Mount Washington Railway Company, and we all still work for the same company today. And he built a prototype steam engine named Peppersass with a single cog gear and a set of tracks integrating this rack idea up to the water tank we just passed. And later that year, he made it up to the water tank with power to spare. So the entrepreneur decides right on the spot, we're going to the summit. What's he do? He hires 250 Civil War veterans. And they completed the railway in under 3 years, which is even an engineering marvel today. And in 1869, Sylvester Marsh took his first coach of paying passengers safely up to our summit and back. So that's why you're on a piece of history. That was 157 years ago. We're kind of starting our 157th year, if you're trying to do the math. And since then, the Cog Railway has taken millions of people to the summit who would otherwise have no reason to go up there. It was wilderness, it wasn't accessible. Last year alone, we took over 170,000 passengers up to our summit. So not only is this a piece of American history, but today you're riding on the largest and most popular tourist attraction in the whole northeastern part of our country. So there we have it. It's pretty cool, and I'll give you another lesson in a few minutes up here. You're going to be 30 feet off the ground, and the grade on Jacob's Ladder is 37.41%, almost a 38% grade. Now, do you all realize how steep we're climbing right now? No, you don't. So we're going to do a little exercise. Let me illustrate it first, and then if you'd like to try this, you're welcome to do so. I'm going to ask you to stand up and get in the center aisle, hold on to the bench, and take a couple steps backwards. And once you're feeling comfortable, let go of the bench and stand up nice and straight like me. Everybody seeing this? This is not magic. You're going to do this yourself. And here's how you do it. You put your feet together, and on a grade this steep, you can really, really lean into it without falling over forward. If I try to stand up straight right now, I would tumble right over backwards. So now it's your turn. Let's see you get out there and stand up straight like me. You did that easy, easy. Good job. Good job in the back.
Wow.
About a month ago, I had a sports medicine physician.
यसरी बस्यो भने हात नासामा दिएर बस्यो पनि नलड्ने भनेर
And he was very inquisitive. He was asking a lot of questions about the Cog Railway, and how long are the tracks, and what's the grade here, and how long does this grade last? And when we got to Jacob's Ladder, I told him, 38%, 300 feet. Now we're on Long Trestle, and about 35%. Hey, doctor, pleasure being your brakeman today. Thank you very much.
यो चाहिँ अब माउन्ट वासिङ्टन समिट चाहिँ अब पुगे हामी ल Alright. Can't use it.
Clear up for you. Thank you.
माउन्ट वासिङ्टन भनेर लेखेको छैन Sherman Adams Summit Building भनेर लेखेको
माउन्ट एभरेस्टको हावा
भन्दा पनि हावा बेसी चल्छ भन्छ अरे यहाँ त एभरेस्ट
पल्टिन्छ फेरि टोटाउँछ
ए होइन मे होइन सानो त्यो चिसो हावा हेर न ठ्याक्क निस्किने छ परेछ ल परेछ हावा त My goodness. Hey, wow. Wow, wow. अब यिनीहरू जानेहरू चाहिँ फेरि पस्यो सीमा हाम्रो चाहिँ गइहाल्ने रहेछ हाम्रो चाहिँ गयो ल हेर वाउ सब्बिस चाहिँ माथि रहेछ टिकटक हाउस भन्छ माथि माउन्ट वासिङ्टन स्टेट पार्क Crawford Park भन्छ यहाँ Sherman Adams Visitor Center त्यहाँ रहेछ ओहो लोहे लोहे उम्रिँदैछ है ओहो घाम आयो ल ल ल ल गजब भइहाल्यो नि वादर त अन्त के गजब यार आमा क्लियर वाउ खतरा हो
Sao cái rồi ơi
Wow. फेरि बादल आयो ओके फेरि Let's go. Okay. Thank you. My goodness, 액칠만 그래서 very 아예 very 액칠만 해로 알겠어 हतररेछ ल नीलो आकाश देख्न थाल्यो अलि अब यहाँ चाहिँ अब चिया खानाहरू रहेछ यहाँ अनि स्न्याक्स खाजाहरू के खाने हो यहाँ रहेछ पिउने कुराहरू पनि रहेछ यहाँ सबै ओके ल अनि यता चाहिँ सुभिनियरहरू किन्ने हो भने सुभिनियरको पसलहरू रहेछ यहाँ ओके यहाँ त पक्कै पनि महँगो हुन्छ यहाँ सुभिनियरहरू ओके ल ओके यहाँ फेरि खाने ठाउँ पनि यहाँ रहेछ अब किनेर आएर केही खाने ठाउँ ओके ओके तल जाने हो यहाँ छिराउँदै म तल एकचोटि हेरेर आउँछु है
I just went downstairs because they said I saw this thing here.
न्युजिल्यान्ड गिफ्ट सप भन्छ यहाँ तल पनि एकचोटि म
Now walk through. यो चाहिँ म्युजियम रहेछ यहाँ वासिङ्टन माउन्टेनको मुनि चाहिँ म्युजियम रहेछ यहाँ ओके यहाँ माउन्टेन
Mount Washington. And so the climate is changing. White Mountain, Mancha, with हेर न यहाँ कस्तो हेर
फलमा चाहिँ देख्ने
हजुर फलमा देख्ने चाहिँ हो रहेछ है कस्तो राम्रो यहाँ वाउ क्या खतरा रहेछ सर वाउ कस्तो राम्रो ल फल चाहिँ यस्तो देख्दो रहेछ ल पुरा माउन्टेन नै कलरफुल है वाउ कस्तो राम्रो ल ठिकै छ ल विन्टरमा चाहिँ यस्तो हुँदो रहेछ ल माउन्ट वासिङटन ओके अहिलेको फलमा रहेछ अहिलेको अनि यो चाहिँ विन्टरमा होइन मे फुल चाहिँ होइन 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 हो रहेछ अनि यहाँ पाउनेको चाहिँ यिनीहरू चाहिँ यो रहेछ है डेमो गरक गरक होइन के कलर नै हो कलर त यो अलिक ठुलो भयो होइन हेर भन बिरालो किप्चाङ हो र यो होइन हो किप्चाङ नै हो यहाँ ल यहाँ पाउने चाहिँ रहेछ ओके हिउँ सोर्ने विन्टरमा त्यहाँ हेर हेर यहाँ घुम्दामा हुने त्यो स्प्रिङमा हेर ल हेर हो नि ठक्कै
Wow, look how quickly the visibility dropped. The top of Mount Washington is in the clouds 60% of the year, so it was only a matter of time before we drove into it. With all the moisture in this cloud and the fact that it's below 32 degrees, we have freezing fog, also known as climb ice, forming on everything.
हामी जब ट्रेन ब्याक जाँदैछु अब ब्याक चढ्दैछु ओके अब हामी अहिले फर्किँदाखेरि सबभन्दा अगाडि भने भयो हामीहरू ल सबभन्दा अगाडि ओके गजब होला सबभन्दा अगाडि भयो
All right, welcome back from the home of the world's worst weather. How did you like it? Good. This is a pretty typical day up here in Mount Washington. We're in the fog about 300 days a year, folks, so this is nothing unusual. So listen, my name is Tim. Our engineer is Josh, and I thank you all for supporting the Cog Railway. Without you, we don't exist. And I don't get to enjoy the best job in the world, sharing my passion for Mount Washington with you folks. My wife and I fell in love with the White Mountains back in the early 70s as teenagers. We Guess I'm that old, but I'm young at heart. And we always wanted to live here in retirement. We raised our family in Connecticut. They're all on their own, doing way better than we ever did. So it was our turn finally. And this is not a retirement job. It's my retirement passion. So thank you for allowing me to share that with you folks. So on the right here, we got a glimpse of the carriage road, or the auto road as it's known today. It was originally called the carriage road because it was built in the days of horses and carriages. And construction on that began in 1854, and the original company, they went bankrupt less than halfway through, so construction stopped for a while.
जो ओन्डो ब्याग जाँदाखेरिको एक्सप्लेनेसन हो
So construction stopped for a while. Another company took over, and they completed it in 1861. And upon completing it, it was considered to be the first man-made attraction in the United States. There's four main specific types.
गाइडले चाहिँ माउन्ट रेनियरमा नभएसम्म पनि चढ्नेछ जिम्मेटिक
There is a rock called Nice, N-E-I-S-S. And he printed a paper at the summit of Mount Washington from 1877 to 1915.
कलरहरू मजाले देख्न थाल्यो अहिले
And he actually hired the COG in 1877 to bring up his printing presses and his typesetting equipment, and he printed that paper right on the summit. It was a morning paper for the hotel guests up there, and at that time there would be as many as 300 hotel guests at the summit. Okay, folks, look on the right side here, down in the valley, way down. You can see a white building there with a red roof.
Right.
And that's the Mountain View Grand Hotel. I'm sorry, the Mount Washington Grand Hotel.
Okay.
That's one of only two Grand Hotels still operating from the Grand Hotel era here on the west side. And I'm going to talk about that era in just a moment. Now that ski area behind it, that's the Bretton Woods ski area. And that's the Bretton Woods ski area. And that's the largest ski area in New Hampshire. All right, folks, just stay in between your seats, please. I don't want to see anybody get hurt and fall. I know it's exciting to finally see something. Believe me, I get it. Now off to the right, we're going to get a little foggy view. That's the Ammonoosuc Ravine. And that's the site of the Ammonoosuc Ravine Trail, which I can't quite see it right now, but that is the Ammonoosuc Ravine.
उतापट्टि चाहिँ बादल आएछ उसलाई हात नसमेकन अब यो चाहिँ यसरी ढल्केर बस्छ अघि माथि चाहिँ यसो गऱ्यो नि अहिले यहाँ चाहिँ यसो
Now, I made mention of the Grand Hotel era, and that was a period of time from about 1860 until about 1930. And that era was made possible by the invention of the railroads. Now, once the railroads were coming up here, it allowed the wealthy who made their fortunes in the East Coast cities, New York, Boston, Philadelphia, etc., they could come up here to the mountains and they would spend several weeks, if not the entire summer. They had a lot of money, and they loved to answer questions. I get tired of talking about what I want. Yes. You ever see wildlife? Yes, all the time. So the large animals aren't that great for them, so we don't see big animals up there very often, but generally down here. Just bear with me, folks. Anybody else? Another quick question? Yes, it's 3 miles long. There's a lot of components here. but it's all tied together, so they're going to end in about 3 weeks. We travel by Snowcat in the winter. There's an auto road. I described the auto road on the other side, and they go up and down that with a Snowcat in the winter time. And I volunteered. I've had the pleasure of riding that. Okay, so we're going to be on our way in just a moment, folks. The switch has been turned.
Thank you very much for letting me without ticket.
Oh, you're welcome. I think I could trust you. You look like you had a trustworthy face.
Nice meeting and nice talk to you.
Same here, same here.
Okay.
And your name?
Ching Ong Chu Sherpa.
Okay.
And your name is?
Tim.
Tim. Okay, nice.
Good meeting you.
Okay. La. Okay, ông làm lại nhà lunch खाने lại यहाँ लाया था यो restaurant में, अनि यो restaurant में यहाँ माथि हो, real good दुपुर से यहाँ ना यार, यो पूरा मजाले, यार दुरा बत्ती पनि बाले छ त्यहाँ, यार मजाले, पूरा घुम्दो रहेछ यो, यो कोठा उताबाट घुमेर त्यो टनलबाट पैसाको जस्तो बनाएर त्यहाँबाट पूरा घुमेर आउँदो रहेछ। हजुर फेरि टनलमा पसेर गयो। ल अहिले लन्च आइपुग्यो यहाँ। ल मेरो चाहिँ फिस एन्ड चिप हो। मेरो चाहिँ के अरे हजुर? ओके। बर्गर। शेषा। त्यहाँ पार्किङ गरेर यहाँ द बेसिनमा वक स्ट्रिम खोलाको तिरमा वक गर्दैछु यहाँ। ल यिनीहरू यहाँ कुकुरलाई नुहाइदिँदै रहेछ हो यहाँ। यो निकै वक गर्दैछ नि मान्छेहरू त ल हेर यहाँ टन्न वकिङ गर्ने मान्छेहरू ल हेर यहाँ मजाले कुकुरलाई नुहाइदिएछ उनीहरूले चट्टसँग। हो क्या खतरा वाह 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 ल गजब 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 भेरी नाइस वक गजब। Swimming, no swimming भन्ने लेखेको छ। Please stay on trail. Handicap viewing of the basin, no swimming. त्यहाँ खोलामा स्विमिङ नगर भनेको रहेछ यहाँ। हो नि यस्तो हेर। आवाज राम्रो क्या, आवाज मिठो। टन्न वकिङ गर्ने मान्छेहरू भेट्दो रहेछ यहाँ त। ऊ हेर त्यहाँको पनि पानीले खाएर डुङ्गाहरू हेर कस्तो ट्रेल। बाफरे गजबको ट्रेकिङ गर्ने बाटो त गजब रहेछ त। हो हाले त छैन खो मि हो साँच्चै नै हो। अनि Okay. That's good. यहाँ दुलाई न है। कता तिमी? कता जाने हो? सब पानीले बनाएको त नि हेर। बाफ हेर। बेसिन भनेको यही रहेछ नानी। यही बेसिन रहेछ नि है। बेसिन ल हेर मान्छे वाकिङमा आउँदो रहेछ यहाँ। ल बेसिन फिट चाहिँ डायमिटरमा 15 फिट चाहिँ गहिराइ डिप हो अरे यो छैन। अनि यहाँ त मान्छे टन्नै हेर्न आउँदो रहेछ। ल यसरी थुप्रो मान्छे हेर्न आउँदो रहेछ है। पानी हेर त्यो सबै ढुङ्गा सक्यो यो पानीको बहावले बनाएको रहेछ यो यो तलको बेसिन पनि अब 25,000 साल पहिलाको कुरा गर्दो रहेछ 25,000 years ago को कुरा आजको वेदर यस्तो छ यहाँ अब हामी बोस्टन फर्किँदैछौँ अघि माथि वासिङ्टन माउन्टेनको अलिकति हुस्सु चिसो विन्डी बाहेक चाहिँ त्यहाँबाट फर्केपछि वेदर चाहिँ यस्तै भएको थियो सो वन्डरफुल गजब भयो हेलो 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 अनि के छ त अनि सब ठिकठाक ओके गुड ल यसको नाम के हो ठुलोको नाम छिले तेन्जिङ रहेछ ल हेलो ठिले हेलो ल मोटो यता लिएर आयो है यता ओके यो चाहिँ श्रीभट्टुको चाहिँ टेस्ला गाडी रहेछ अहिले चाहिँ आज चाहिँ हामी यहाँ टेस्ला गाडीमा यहाँ जाँदैछौँ है प्रेसिडेन्टजी हो नि हो प्रेसिडेन्टजीको गाडी त्यो रहेछ टोयोटा RAV4 कि क्या त्यो RAV4 रहेछ अब श्रीभट्टुको टेस्ला गाडी टेस्लामा पनि चढ्यो ओके अब चाहिँ प्रेसिडेन्टजीले अब चाहिँ हामीलाई कोरियनमा लाने भने चाहिँ अब कोरियनमा जाँदैछु
No, you have to read first. Make sure.
That's what it says. Free parking there. Yeah, no parking. There, ma. No payment required. Free parking, sir.
Okay.
Why?
Boston को यो डाउनटाउन बाल्डन बाल्डन हो नि यहाँ जो एरिया बाल्डन हो रहेछ माल्डन म्याप यहीँ रहेछ ओके वाह लु right Korean barbecue chicken, Korea's finest fried chicken. What's that? Yeah. डिनर आइसक्यो यहाँ तपाईँहरूको चाहिँ राइस ब्लग नि कि के अरे
बुलगोगी राइस
हजुर
बुलगोगी राइस
ओके थ्याङ्क यू मैले चाहिँ रामेन बनाएको छु रामेन लिएर आएछ ओके ल ओके ल अहिले यहाँ छ नि म अलिकति खान्छु लेमन हो हामी सेमन लुन सब्जी लुन एउटा एक्स्ट्रा बोल ल्याइदेऊ न एक्स्ट्रा बोल पिरो रहेछ यसमा हाल्नै पर्दैन टु हट पिरो रहेछ ओके आजको दिन पनि एकदम गजबसँग बित्यो यहाँ अहिलेको टसी दर्जी डोमाको कोरियन रेस्टुरेन्टको डिनर पछि अब हामी घर फर्किँदैछु अहिले यहाँ ओके आजको भिडियो यतिमा स्टप गर्छु म सी यु इन नेक्स्ट भिडियो लाइक सेयर कमेन्ट गर्नु नभुल्नु होला सब्सक्राइब नगरेकोहरूले गरिदिनु होला भन्दै ओके